Hello there folks, Dan here and welcome to another Facebook Live and welcome to 2018. We are finally into the new year and excited to achieve some big things in Facebook advertising space for 2018, and that's actually the reason we're jumping on Facebook Live today to talk about some of the things that we're predicting to happen in the Facebook advertising space and some tips on how you can get ahead and get started to a profitable 2018. But first of all, if this is your first time joining us on Facebook Live for the year or just in general, then welcome. It's great to have you on board. My name is Dan, and at Organic Digital, we help businesses manage, train, and educate them on Facebook advertising. And it's been a big last 12 months in the Facebook advertising space. And it's going to be another big 12 months ahead. A year is a long time in Facebook advertising, just at the sheer speed rather, that they travel and they make changes. And we expect 2018 to be an even bigger year. And we've gone ahead and we've done a pretty in-depth article around what we think will be happening in the Facebook advertising space. And look, everyone this time of year puts out their predictions on what's ahead, and we didn't want to just be another article that threw some things out there, and where there was no real recourse whether we were right or wrong. So we wanted to hold ourselves accountable, and we've put a little bit of work into this article as well. We always put work into our articles, but into this article in particular, we've had a look at the trends of where the last year has been, some data, in-depth data on where Facebook advertising has gone, as well as having a look around the various communities and looked back over the past year to make some educated decisions on where the next year is going to go. So last week, if you missed our Facebook Live last week, we actually looked back on 2017 and some of the big changes that had already happened. And we did that just to set the scene as to where the last 12 months has gone, and also because we look back on the past year to be able to help us make some predictions on where to go ahead in the next year. So I'm going to jump into the article and talk about the three areas that we make some predictions. So first of all, like I said, we will be holding ourselves accountable. We're going to be revisiting this article a couple of times throughout the year, and we're quite happy to admit when we're wrong, or if we are correct, then we'll try not to gloat too much. But we are happy to make these predictions because we also want to make sure that they're educated, that you can actually take these predictions and put them into action. And if you do, you actually get results from them as well. We don't just want you to go and test them and try them and say, well, we only just said go and test and try them. If you're going to do them, we expect you to get results from them. So these are the three key areas that we're focusing on. First of all, there's transparency. Second is authenticity. And the last one, third one is community. And some of these areas we spoke about in the last year as well, because they've been key themes that we've seen amongst a lot of Facebook advertising, both releases from Facebook themselves, but also in discussions around various communities, and also results that we've seen from our own advertising, our clients' advertising, and seeing these key themes consistently come through. So first of all, when we talk about transparency, we spoke about it last week in our looking back at 2017, and it really was the buzzword, mainly because of all the issues that Facebook had around their transparency into the advertising that some Russian ad agencies did in the lead up to and during the 2016 US election. If you want to go and find out more about it, you can watch our Facebook Live last week, where we spoke about it a little bit more detail, and also there's some links to more of that information in the article. But looking ahead, this is going to be something that they consistently focus on, and they don't really have a choice, because they've got to please various political side of things. It's gone to Congress, and they've had congressional hearings about what role Facebook advertising played in that election. So it's a really big issue for Facebook, and something that they're facing not only just from an advertising perspective, but their overall influence in general, and the role that they play in today's society. So a couple of predictions that we've made around the transparency side of things is they're going to make it simpler for Facebook, for its users to discover information on the ads that they're being shown, even more so than their current solution. So they've just released it in Canada, where it's kind of basically you can go and look at all of the ads that a page is currently running, regardless of whether you're in that audience or not. It's more of a manual process, so we're not quite sure whether it will be that consistent manual process where people need to do a couple of clicks to go through and actually find that information. If it is that case, and they just kind of tick the box, then I don't think it will be a big thing that Facebook users use. The average Joe user, advertisers like ourselves, are always going to go and have a look at what other ads that business or that page is running. So if they keep it a manual process, like some other things that they've introduced as far as finding out more information and going to find settings, etc., the user base is pretty much just lazy. If they have to exit too far from the newsfeed, they simply just won't perform that action. So, that will just be, it will be introduced around the world, but whether they actually enhance and make that process, that user experience easier or not, still to tell, but it will become easier. Facebook are also going to become more transparent around the data that they're using, and make it easier for advertisers to discover more data and how to better read that data as well. So how they can better understand it to influence decisions on their own Facebook advertising, on their overall marketing as well. The analytics system will be, I think, will be improved and become more robust and more prevalent for advertisers out there. That they will try to use the information in analytics to deliver information on people. So that's one of the big things that Facebook are big on, is that they've got information on people, not just users, that they're gone past that cookie tracking option. So we spoke about this last week, where the simple cookie tracking option, which is basically they drop a cookie, not a real life cookie, but a cookie on your web browser when you go and browse something, and everyone's just a number in previous analytics. Now they've gone so much further past that they're tracking real life individuals and being able to tell who's performing what. So they're going to include a lot more information for advertisers to better able to understand how that influences, yes, their advertising, but also how they better optimize their advertising spend as well. So I think they're going to not just across Facebook, but their overall marketing spend as well. And this is going to be a big direction that Facebook go to try and basically pull marketing dollars from other channels that they're using, whether that be Google, traditional advertising, being able to present data easily and insights more easily understandable for business owners to basically then make that decision. When they compare two different marketing channels, they can see that Facebook is going to give them better results. So transparent, they're going to be more transparent for its user base, but more transparent for business owners on the data that they have available to them at the touch of a couple of buttons. The second prediction, or the second area that we've made predictions, is around authenticity. And authenticity has really come about because of the rise of spam and spam bots, particularly on channels like Instagram, where we've all seen it before. You post something, you put a couple of hashtags on there, as you do for your Instagram posts, and then 3 seconds later you get those comments like "pretty sweet" and "I love this" heart emoji, and all of these just ridiculous comments. It is coming from automated programs. Facebook and effectively Instagram have worked to shut down some of these services that actually have been providing this service for the past year, such as a lot of people used Instagress, Mass Planner, that had these automatic comments and likes based on hashtags and different posting behaviours that people automatically did on Instagram, because they want a more authentic experience for its user base, and that means actual real life people engagement. The engagement that people want is not only from a business perspective and people saying that I don't get any engagement anymore, but also from a user base perspective, that they want real life and actual authentic engagement and to be spoken to as a person. So you need to continuously think about how you can be more authentic in your marketing and looking past people as just a number or a sale, and how you can actually build a conversation with them. And really this means that you need to be more strategic around your advertising. And if you don't have at least a documented plan or strategy for your Facebook advertising, then you simply can't see the lay of the land and how you're actually talking to people from a top line perspective to see how you come in across to them, and do that initial work on how you talk to people at each stage of that customer journey. And it's starting earlier than it's ever been. It's no longer you're getting them at the point where they're ready to purchase. You're getting them a lot earlier than that, so you need to build that relationship over the time. So a couple of predictions from that perspective is Facebook are going to focus a lot more on authentic video. If you thought that Facebook have been heavily focused on video for the past couple of years, which yes, it have been, then 2018 is going to be an even bigger year for video creators. We've seen recently that they've introduced the Facebook Creators app, which is a brand new app. We've seen specific pages and Facebook Watch for series and people that allows them to easily subscribe, for the lack of a better word, or to use still the YouTube terminology, to these shows. And speaking of YouTube, this is a clear play on trying to take some of the YouTube influencers and the YouTube stars, bring them over to Facebook to tap into an even bigger user base. And even some of the terminology that they're using in the Creators app is exactly what YouTube creators are looking for. So keep an eye out for a lot more video. The news feeds are just going to become super video heavy, and if you don't have a video strategy for 2018, you're going to get left behind. So you really need to start thinking about that. If you've been putting it off, 2018 is a year that you need to invest in video. The other prediction from an authenticity perspective is around the Facebook Messenger experience, and particularly the Facebook Messenger bot experience. The Messenger bot experience, people have a lot of feedback on it as far as that it's not realistic or it isn't authentic. And going back to this theme, is that Messenger bots will become so advanced that they'll actually be able to provide much more specific and relatable information to people. The only thing they won't be able to replace, and they shouldn't replace, is human interaction and human nature. So the Messenger bots will be able to start a conversation with people. They'll be able to continue that conversation, and you'll get into the point where they're just about probably likely to convert, but probably 90% of the time, unless it's a smaller purchase, to get them over the line, they're going to need a human in Facebook Messenger to have a conversation with them, and an actual manual real life conversation with them. So, but that Messenger bot experience is going to be huge, and they're putting so much infrastructure into that, and third-party programs such as ManyChat and Chatfuel are just consistently introducing new features, new capabilities of Messenger, and that's going to be a big direction for Facebook advertising and people that are using that Messenger destination to actually get that open up that initial conversation with people. So rather than them maybe clicking on a link and going through to a website, it might be something that they interact with within Messenger. So it might be a quiz or a questionnaire or a solution, something that gives value to that end user. And Messenger bots are so advanced now, they have the capabilities to do that. So yes, authenticity is going to be huge, but Facebook Messenger is actually becoming quite authentic and a comfortable place for people to open up conversations with. So it's getting to that point. 2018 is going to be a big year for Facebook Messenger. The last area that we're focusing on from a predictions perspective is community. And community was a theme from 2017 when Facebook started to adjust and change their mission statement, which used to be, when Zuckerberg first started Facebook, I think it was like move fast and break things, or something similar to that, where it was basically just let's consistently build, develop, be ahead of the game, and it was we'll deal with the rest of it down the track. Then it was something like move fast, or something with good infra, or basically good infrastructure. So focus more on the infrastructure. Whereas now Facebook have updated their mission statement, which is give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. And that's really because they've got so much influence and such a large user base now that they do have the ability to bring people and the world closer together around certain social issues. And the two areas that are so different to this are community and closer. And they, going back to the authentic experience, they want to bring that community closer together by providing the ability to connect them together. And there are three main areas that you can see Facebook focusing on to help bring that or create that closer community. The three areas are Facebook Messenger that we've spoken about. Facebook Groups is a big one, and the other one, which is probably still a little while off, is a Facebook Oculus Rift, which is a virtual reality solution. That's still pretty early in its stages of community development, but 2019 and onwards, you can see virtual reality playing a large role in being able to connect communities around the world without actually physically having to be there, and providing a much more authentic experience, because it is just about reality, or pretty close to reality rather. So those three solutions are going to be a big area that help them achieve that mission statement. Now, how does this affect you? Well, it just means that you need to have a deeper understanding of what makes your community and your customers tick. You need to have a better comprehension of the psychological triggers that actually force them to take action, and that engage with them and that connect with them. So you need to come up with good advertising creative. You need to look further as to how you can build that community around your brand. So again, rather than just looking at them as the initial sale, how can you build them into an ongoing and consistent loyal customer that helps bring more people with them, and helps be another marketing channel for you. It's kind of like the old word of mouth marketing channel that has been so big and still is so big for so many different businesses. But Facebook has the ability to have that same effect, just in an online medium. So you need to look behind the ads that actually promote your product and whatever you're offering, and how you can get that get their attention with creative that speaks to them. So some predictions around the community side of things. Facebook are going to be much more stringent on their newsfeed than ever before, and what this means that straight promotional ads to cold audiences just will, one, become hugely expensive, and they're just not going to be served to people on the newsfeed, because they don't actually provide any authentic community capabilities for that audience that you're trying to target. And it just comes back to their mission statement and them wanting to improve the authenticity of their news feeds across Facebook and Instagram. So if you're going to have more of a sales or promotional message, it's likely that Facebook are going to, I guess, I don't think they'll force you to do it, but I think they're going to encourage you to serve them to warmer audiences. So whether that be like a custom audience or maybe a accurate lookalike audience, maybe, and that might be become more of a avenue that Facebook drive people towards, because they've got so much data on its user base, is having a source audience that you can then make a lookalike audience based on that. So Facebook takes a source audience and then creates a larger audience that hasn't seen your brand before but have similar traits to that source audience of people that you've given Facebook. And I think that will be one of the bigger avenues that Facebook are going to drive people to do. Again, they won't force them to do it, but they'll, I guess, subconsciously do that. Maybe that's not the right word, but they'll kind of almost force you to do it in the way that ads are just going to be so expensive and you're just not going to get any impressions or reach from them. So people need to think about how they can better have less promotional ads going out to a cold audience, and then how they can more quickly get people into custom audiences that then they can serve relevant ads to them that way as well. The other thing from a community perspective is you're going to see people put more advertising dollars behind video to drive a viewership and build a regular audience. So going back to the transparency and the authenticity side of things is with the introduction of new video, particularly the Facebook Watch, where people can subscribe to a watch page and be notified every time there's a new episode come out of that. You're going to see more people drive viewers and subscribers to that effectively, because it's another channel that they can get directly into their news feeds, and it's similar to it's actually much more closer, I think, than a liking a page, because there is that notification coming through every time there's a new video published on that page, and it's pretty close to either giving over an email, but Facebook, again, going back to the transparency side of things, your subscribers to that page, you're probably going to be able to get a fair bit of insight as to who they are and data around that audience to help you better market your ads, your videos going forward. So the reason I think people are going to be putting money into their consistent video segments is they get access to that data, but also you're going to see more pre-roll and mid-roll video advertisements. So if you've ever watched a YouTube video, you've got to watch a 5-second or a 15-second advertisement, wait for it to hit skip or whatever, sometimes before a video starts, and then sometimes even halfway through a video as well. So Facebook are going to start rolling those out to more people, but that actually gives a revenue source to the video creator as well. So an element of that cost, some of it goes to Facebook, and then some of it goes to the creator as well. And I think that's going to be a motivator again to getting more people over to Facebook that have originally built an audience on YouTube and are going to try and drive them over to Facebook as well. So that is our predictions for 2018. They're around those three main themes of transparency, authenticity, and community. You can find out more and go into more detail in the blog post, which I'll make sure there's a link in the comments. It'll probably be there by now. I think I've already put it in. And you can jump in there, have a look at the links, have a look at some more information around what we talk about, as well as links to some of those issues that we mentioned around transparency and the new authenticity and stuff like that. So love to hear what you think, and whether you agree, disagree, have any extra that you think you're going to become more consistent around 2018. It's going to be another big year for Facebook advertisers, and it's becoming incredibly competitive from a Facebook advertising perspective. Certainly the cost of ads has risen and will continue to rise throughout the year. So you need to have a dedicated or a documented rather plan or strategy behind you to make sure that you're spending your advertising dollars more wisely. And if you need any tips or resources on Facebook advertising, of course, you can head to our website at organicwithak.com.au. Head to our resources page there. We have a number of different links to some resources that can help you get started and make sure that you do have a profitable 2018. I really want to help as many advertisers out there as possible to get a better return on their ad spend, increase that return on their ad spend as well, and achieve some really big business goals. We've got some lofty goals for 2018. We want to help as many people out there as possible, so make sure you keep an eye out there. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter yet, we are giving some bonus tips within our newsletter to our email subscribers, so it's not just a broadcast email it's not actually every week for that matter, it's every fortnight and every month as well. We do a bit of a recap as well, so make sure you never miss out on anything. And if you don't want to subscribe to our newsletter, or if you do, that'd be great. But if you prefer, you can actually hit the link to our Facebook Messenger, which you can either go straight to our Facebook Messenger on our Facebook page because you're watching this on Facebook Live probably, or head to our website, and there's a little icon down the bottom right hand corner, I think it is. If you tap that, that's actually our Facebook Messenger bot. Going back to our authenticity and community building, we're using our Messenger bot and testing that for 2018 as well, so you can jump in there, start having a conversation with that. Of course, we see the people that come through, and if you have a question that our bot does point you in the right direction, we will make sure that we are backing up our predictions, and we have an authentic human being, aka me, that will jump in there and give you a hand. So if you've got any questions, by all means jump in there. But really looking forward to big 2018. Looking forward to helping you achieve your advertising goals. Great to have you on board again, and thank you so much for watching our Facebook Live. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy 2018. We'll chat to you soon. All right, bye-bye.